Hi guys, welcome to my sewing space. For those who don't know me, my name is Bitumela and this is my channel. Today we're diving into the parts and functions of the overlocker sewing machine. Yep, this fancy machine with all the threads that kinda look intimidating, but don't worry, I've got you. We're going to walk through each part of the overlocker. So if you want to know what all those knobs are for, let's jump in. Starting off at the back, we have this extendable thread tree that has a thread holder and a thread plate numbered 1 and 2. It is the very first stage of the threading process, and its extendable function ensures that the threads unwind evenly without tangling. Here we have 4 vertical spool pins where we put our threads, and each one serves a different purpose. The first one is for lower looper thread, second one is for upper looper threading, third one is for right needle threading, and then the fourth one is for left needle threading. Right on top of the machine we have a thread guide which consists of 4 holes. Each thread has its own path and guide which maintains proper tension and stitch formation. This is a presser foot pressure adjustment screw that you can either set to high or lower pressure. Higher pressure may be necessary for thicker fabrics or multiple layers of fabric, and then lower pressure would be used to prevent puckering or stretching on delicate fabrics. Coming to the front, there's 4 color-coded tension adjustment dials with the tension ranging from 0 to 9, 0 being less tense and 9 being highly tense. In the channel next to the tension dial, there's a tension disc that opens and closes by moving the presser foot lever control on the right, up and down. And that is your presser foot lever on the side there. Right below the 2 dials on the left is a thread guide and a thread take-up numbered 4 and 5. Those are also channels for threading. And then we have this small metal piece to separate the left needle and the right needle threading. This small knob is a stitch width dial. Adjusting it widens or narrows the stitch. It also affects how much fabric is trimmed off by the blades, which consequently affects the seam allowance. Wider stitch width means more fabric is cut off before stitching, and the narrower means less fabric is trimmed. On the right side of the machine, this is what we see. We have these 4 controls. This is a presser foot lever that you can move up and down to open and close the tension discs, as well as the presser foot. This is a stitch adjustment dial. It controls how long each stitch is. In other words, how far the fabric moves between the needle penetrations. For a shorter stitch length, you get a tighter stitches, and then that is used on light or delicate fabrics. And then for a longer stitch length, you get looser stitches, and that is used on thicker fabrics or fabrics that are heavy. Down here we have a differential feed ratio adjustment dial. This dial controls how fast or slow the fabric is fed through the machine. It adjusts the relative speed of the 2 sets of the feed docks, the one at the front and the one at the back. And then going on to your right, we have a hand wheel. So this hand wheel, you would use it to manually raise or lower your needles. It's very important to remember that you have to roll it towards you and never away from you. This black button is a power button and a light switch. We all know what that does. And right below it, we have a foot pedal socket. Let us zoom in now on the left hand side of the machine. Right above the 2 needles, we have a thread guide. Thread is hooked on there before it's directed towards the needles. Then we have the left and right needle there. Below the 2 needles is a presser foot. A presser foot holds the fabric flat and steady against the feed docks. It prevents the fabric from lifting while sewing, and there are different types for different users. Right below the presser foot, you get what we call feed dogs. Feed dogs are the small tooth metal bars. They move the fabric through the machine as you sew. So they move when you move the hand wheel or when you're sewing. Now the front compartment. As you open the front cover, you get your tweezers. The tweezers assist us in hooking thread into the tiny parts that you see on your left over there. Then we have all these thread guides numbered 5, 6, 7 and 8. including these thicker ones called the thread take-up looper. They all perform about the same function. This blue button is called a lower looper threading lever. You press it to expose the lower looper needle when threading. So you only need to press it once, only for the first threading process. So basically from your guides, you would hook your thread onto here and then into the eye of the lower looper. Right above that, we get the upper looper needle facing the opposite direction, and that is to the left. Then from here, I don't know if you guys will see when I point, but anyway, let's do it. Behind that white knob, there's two blades. You get the upper blade and the lower blade right here. And then those two are responsible for trimming off your edges while you sew, giving you a clean finish to your garment. This small flat metal piece is a stitch finger. You don't have to worry yourself much about that. Then on this side, we have a similar part, which is known as the knife lever. The knife lever controls the fabric cutting knife. It's used to adjust the knife's position, allowing you to adjust the distance between the cutting line of the knife and the needle. That there, I've already mentioned that it's a stitch width dial. If you have any questions about this machine, don't hesitate. You can always ask me anything. But for now, I am done. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video. I will see you guys next time. Bye.